Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is AD. My voice is a little bit croaky. Picked up some sort of like flu-y thing, as you do in the winter before Christmas, but that isn't going to stop me working on the car. My name is AD. This is my garage. My driveway is over there. The Renault 8's on there, and we're going to be starting to do some upgrades. Upgrades to the steering. So on the Renault 8, it's got an old style inner tie rod that doesn't lend itself to being adjusted easily. So what I have got are these new inner tie rods. I've swapped out the ends on there. These came with a different set of ends. So the rods are suitable, but the ends weren't. And then I've got the ends on there. I'm pretty sure they're Renault 4 track rod ends now. Got some boots, and hopefully it's going to be as simple as removing the old stuff and some thread lock and winding these ones in. Gonna get cracking with that, give that a go. What that's going to allow me to do is actually align the front end a lot better. We've added camber in by way of moving the bottom wishbone points outwards, same as the old A110s did. This will allow me to align the front wheels tracking wise a lot better. It is as it is. I haven't actually adjusted it at any point, so it is a little bit jittery when driving down the road, so I can dial them straight or a little bit of toe in or toe out depending on what I need. But yeah, I'm going to get the car in the air, get the old stuff off, hopefully get these on, and then all being well, I've then got a period Motoliter steering wheel to go on as well. Smaller than the original. I'm just waiting on the Boss to come direct from Motoliter for that, which should then add to the nice steering feel on there, make it feel a little bit more sporty along with the extra horsepower that it's now got. But yeah, we'll get cracking on that. I'll get the car up in the air, we'll have a look underneath and see what we can get done. So here we go. I'm not sure how much of this you'll be able to see. This is the original track rod end on a bar. It's got like a H shape to it. It's slightly twisted. I'm not sure whether it's twisted because I run so low. We've got a bolt, nut and bolt through there, and then we've got the inner track rod end itself. From what I understand, I should be able to replace all that, though it doesn't look the same to me. Nowhere near the same, unless just this bit comes out, which it may do. I'll get a torch under there and have a look. See if we can get that out. There we go, you can see a little better now. Got a torch on the go, and this, I'll replace this part here all the way in, and then I'll just be able to adjust it and spin it in and out as per a normal setup, I guess. You know, I do not think I'm doing this in situ. And the easiest way is going to be able to take the whole steering rack out and do it on the bench. And yeah, it's turned into a ball ache already. Looks like it's only held on with 2 bolts anyway. Right, so yeah, it's turned into a pain in the ass job to get done on there, so I'm going to drop the whole steering rack off. Hopefully, if I do it right, the next bit you'll see is the steering rack on the workbench. This is one of them points where you enter the funny 3 hours later or 4 hours later snippets. Yeah, I found the new worst job to do on the Renault 8, and that was removing this, the steering rack. It's only held in by 2 bolts here and 2 bolts there onto the bottom of the steering column. Doesn't sound like much, doesn't sound like a big issue. Absolute ball ache. I'm not even sure what the time is now. I started it around, what, 11ish? Just looking at the clock, it's 4:45. I can no longer feel my arms or hands, and yeah, it's been great fun. But the steering rack is off, so we can now continue. What I'm going to do is I'm just giving it a quick wipe down and clean up. I'm going to pack some fresh grease in there. I'll make a new gasket for it, and we'll slap that back on, and then hopefully tomorrow, depending on the weather, but for you a minute or 2 later, we'll have the steering rack back on the car. You can see how chewed up the ends were. That bush there is absolutely destroyed and hanging out. Same on the other side. Oh, yeah, that I can literally push that straight through. So the steering itself was feeling a little bit sloppy, that, and I'd not had it aligned. To be fair, this seems really, really good. It's smooth, no notchiness or anything. You can upgrade these. There are a few people that sell them. I think the Gordini version is quicker racked here, and then there's a chap who sells a kit to make it even shorter again. Don't really want to pay for one at the moment, but I might look at it in the future too. I have got a smaller wheel coming, so it should feel a little sharper anyway. I think it's mainly for the race guys and the ones who want to really really quick reaction on the steering wheel and catch the back end when it's sliding. I think it's for them. But I think it's about 500 or 600 quid for the kit to give you a quick rack, which I don't think I need at the moment. The only thing I will look into is a new one of these. Though this is tough, it has got a few signs of cracks coming in it. That's just the steering coupling. So maybe I get a quick rack for it in the future and we'll replace that at the same time. If I can find one of these, I'll replace it now. Like I say, it's just a little bit of surface cracking on there at the moment. It seems fine. But yeah, hopefully the new track rod ends, which are under here somewhere. There we go, there's one. Should take out some of the slop of all these bushes. We'll be able to get it tracked up and pointed in the right direction, and we'll be rolling again. So yeah, I'll get this cleaned up, get a new gasket made, bang some fresh grease in there, and you'll see it back on the car in a minute. There we have it, assembled up, ready to go. New track rod, adjustable track rod ends on, so I can take this to any garage and they'll be able to do this pretty easily. I'll be able to adjust it quickly on the driveway as well. So yeah, what have we done? 2 new ends on, 2 new boots, got cable ties on everything. We've tightened everything in there. That'll sit overnight anyway. I've made a new gasket from there. I've packed it full of fresh grease. Yeah, ready to rock and roll. So we're back. My voice hasn't improved much, but we are going to crack on. So the steering rack is out, it's on the bench over there. We're going to be refitting that, but before we do that, I need to remove the cowling from the steering wheel. And what we're going to do is make sure that the steering column is central before putting the steering rack back in, and as long as they're both somewhere near the middle, we should be good to go. Then I can bolt the two back together. Hopefully putting it back in shouldn't take me as long as it took me to take it out. I've been told there's a good chance that I've broken the clock spring in here, which cancels the indicators, so we'll see that in a second. Hopefully I haven't. If I have, it's no biggie, I can just order a new one, hopefully from France. But yeah, once this is out of the way, you should be able to see. I might have to take the steering wheel off as well, I'm not so sure. That's got to come off in a bit anyway. So yeah, all being well, let's have a look. This is just, yeah, let's drop the really hard to get bits. Okay, there's the bottom one off. So indicators on this side. Oh. That's still working, so I say we're somewhere near central. I actually can't see without ripping the wheel off, so I'm going to have to take that off now. We'll get that out of the way, then I can check the clock spring.
boom, we are there. Steering rack's in. Need to nip all this up, pull them tight, do the same on the other side. Centralise the steering column, centralise the rack, bolted it in. So yeah, it should be a case of nipping this up and then yeah, take it for alignment really. I say alignment, I can only do toe in, toe out. There is a little bit of caster adjustment, but we're not going to worry about that. As long as it's somewhere close to it, track straight, I'm happy. We did want to be upgrading the steering wheel at the same time. We did have a delivery, but unfortunately, and I don't think it's their fault directly, Motorlita, they made me this special order, listed for a 1968 Renault 8 to go with the period Motorlita steering wheel, and yeah, it's the wrong size. Chatting to someone else in the know, the one that I've been sent is for a Gordini with a 22mm steering column, I think it is. The one I've got is a 19mm steering column, so I'm going to have to ask around, see if I can get another one of those. The right one for the steering wheel I've got, because I don't really want to go back to Motorlita unless they accept that one back out of goodwill, but they did make it special order, so I doubt it. And they're quite pricey new, though it did look nice in a polished finish to match the polished steering wheel. A little bit disappointed with that. That was my Christmas present to myself, or to the car. But yeah, we're going to wrap up now. I'll just nip everything back up, we'll get the wheels back on, and yeah, we'll be somewhere close. I've refitted the steering rack, some nylocks on the bolts that I couldn't get out. They were a real pain in the ass. What I've done is I've put some fresh coated M8 bolts in there, a dab of thread lock as well, just to make sure, and I've put skirted nuts on with a serration so they shouldn't unwind. The originals were castellated with a wire lock, and I don't know, I mean, I'm a big guy, I don't know how they did that on the production line. They must have had a child doing it. But yeah, I've replaced those. I'll give them a once over in a bit to make sure it's okay, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Like I say, a dab of thread lock and a securing knurled skirt on them, so they shouldn't come undone. Hopefully I'd feel it before they did. But yeah, we're going to nip everything up now, carry on, get it back on the floor, and hopefully get it tracked up sometime soon. But yeah, happy with that so far. We'll see how it drives. Just a little bit disappointed with the steering wheel side of things, but yeah, nothing major, not a major update as of yet. But let's carry on.